Good morning, class of 2021. This is Mrs. Duclos, and I have a lot of great information for you today. I'm super excited to get this day started, so let's start with a message from Mr. Coon.
Good afternoon, seniors. This is Mr. Coon here with just some words to make sure that you're staying on top of things. We're happy that you're engaged in getting all this information. Those of you in brick and mortar and virtual school, a lot of information is going out. This is a very different school year, one that's never been done before, one with a whole bunch of different rules, expectations, and processes and procedures. And we want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your senior year. Are some things different? Yes, they are, but that doesn't mean that we have to, that we still can't have the same amount of fun and school pride and spirit that we have every other year. So hang in there with me. Make sure you're checking in with your teachers. Make sure you're checking the One Lecanto page, checking in with Miss Duclos, keeping those reminds intact, checking those emails. A lot of information is coming to you. We want to make sure that you're able to get everything out of your senior year so I can hand you that diploma, shake your hand, and wish you Godspeed at the end of the year at our graduation. Thank you guys for all the hard work that you're doing. Hang in there. Go Panthers.
Hi guys, I'm back. It's Mrs. Duclos again. Some important information for you today. Because the 11th graders and 10th graders are doing some important testing today, we will not be able to use the internet. That way we can protect the broadband so that they don't get kicked off of any of their important tests. So although I'm going to tell you a lot of information today, and I'm going to give you some locations to go and find some certain things on the internet, you won't be able to do that during our time together today. So you might want to jot it down or take a quick picture of things to be prepared to do it after our session is done when we're able to use the broadband again. On the same thread, please try to keep everything as quiet as possible to give those students the best testing environment we can provide for them. So if you do have to go out in the hallways to use the restroom or on your way to lunch, please keep that in mind and stay as quiet as possible at all times. Good morning, class of 2021. I'm Mrs. Duclos. I'm your senior class advisor. If you haven't yet, please join the senior remind. You'll text at 21 Lecanto to 81010. It's a super easy way for me to be able to get information out to you. Yearbooks, graduation, prom, homecoming, anything senior related. Scholarships. It's quick and easy for me to send you a quick text. You can do it on your iPad, you can do it on your individual phone, or really on any device at all. Your parents can also join it as well if they would like to get updates and information. Today, October 14th, is going to be a great day. We're going to do all sorts of senior activities, things like scholarships and how to prepare for them, college applications and what's the best way to go after a college application. How do you get a teacher recommendation, for example? What are we doing for homecoming and the homecoming hallway contest? So all of these things are going to be talked about today. Please be respectful to the teacher whose room you are in and just make it a fun day for everyone. Good luck, everyone, and let me know if you have any questions. All right, guys, so now you've seen Mr. Coon and you've seen me. So let's talk about the rest of the senior team. In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you a video from Mr. Allen or Coach Allen. You can find him in the front office. He is not only the LHS Activities and Athletic Director, but he's also in charge of all things graduation. So if you can't get an answer from me or somebody else, you can certainly go to Coach Allen at any time. He has all the answers in regards to graduation. For yearbook, senior ads, and the morning show, of course, the fabulous Miss Dutcher is who you want to see. She's in room 212 up by the main history hallway if you have any questions about any of those things. Mr. Weil is our senior class homecoming sponsor. He has one of the classrooms out by the bus ramp. If you want to get in touch with him, you can go see him out there to talk about all things homecoming. And then, of course, you've got your senior class officers. Your president, Austin Recta, put together a video for you that you're going to see in just a couple of moments. So if you ever need anything from them, you can certainly reach out to them as well. As I said before, please join the Senior Remind. It really is the best way to stay up to date as things change. And as we know, it is 2020, so things change quite regularly. This is the best way for me to be able to send you information quickly and easily. everyone. So on the next couple of slides, we're going to be talking about things like senior pictures, senior quotes, homecoming court nominations, and so on. So you might be wondering, where would I go to find all that information? Well, I have some great news for you. We are rolling out a brand new place where we can store all sorts of things that we want you guys to have, and that's in the senior zone. So as you know, on your iPad and Canvas, you already have something called the Panther zone. This is where you might go to fill out a hall pass or an appointment for guidance. Well, if you scroll down on that Canvas page, you will see the senior zone. And inside that senior zone will be all the forms that we're going to talk about today and some additional things. I will also be updating this on a regular basis, and I'll send out a remind text anytime there's new stuff to check there. But it will never hurt to go back and check that at any time. Another great place to find everything you need is onelecanto.com. So make sure you're always checking that as well. All right, let's talk about senior pictures. So as you know, with all of the COVID-19 protocols, we are not allowed to have any visitors on campus. Unfortunately, that also includes Curtis Bryant, our photographer. What that means is that he will not be able to come on campus to take class pictures or senior pictures as he normally would. Because of this, in order to get your senior portrait taken, you need to go to his studio. It is important that you take care of this and make sure that you have not only taken the picture, but that it's also been submitted back to the school before November 6th, which is only a few weeks away. The reason for this is to ensure that it makes it into this year's yearbook. We would hate to have any of our seniors not included in the yearbook. If you want more information about Curtis Bryant and his studio and how to get in touch with him, please go to his website. The easiest way to do this is to Google Curtis Bryant Photography Lecanto, and he has a special part of his website specifically designed to senior photos for Lecanto High School. If you go there, there's all the information on how to schedule your session, what the pricing is, and so on and so forth. So please make sure you take care of this as soon as possible. We do have about 180 of you that have not yet taken senior photos. If you have additional questions and you are not able to get those answers from Curtis Bryant, you can also see Ms. Dutcher in room 212 or dutcherh@citrusschools.org.
It's Senior News Show with Celine Deanna, Samantha Printer, Jordan Printer, Melanie Shanks, and your host, Austin Recta.
This is Senior News Show. I'm your host, Senior Class President Austin Recta, and today we are also joined by Austin Recta.
Happy to be here.
Today we'll be covering topics on homecoming.
There's a lot of questions circulating nowadays.
Yes, we know you have a lot of questions, but first and foremost,
Are we even having a homecoming dance this year?
no, we will not be having a dance this year.
Then are we having a homecoming parade?
And no, there will be no homecoming parade.
What?
So what are we going to be having? Well, we have an amazing cabinet ready to give you some of that information.
First off, we have Samantha Printer talking about hallway decorations.
Take it away, Sam.
Hey guys, it's Sam Printer, your senior board secretary. While we may not be having a homecoming this year, we're still doing hallway decorations, which are an easy and fun way to be involved with your class, as well as maybe grab some extra volunteer service hours if you're running a little low. To be frank with you, 2020 has sucked. I think we can all agree on that. I can make a whole list of the reasons why, especially for seniors. And seniors, do you really want to be beat by underclassmen and add that to that list? I don't think so. That being said, if you're interested in volunteering and being a part of this amazing opportunity, Ms. Roush and Ms. Duclos will be releasing information later on this week about that.
Thank you, Sam. I can't wait to see how the hallways turn out.
Up next, we have Celine Deanna. She'll talk to us about senior class t-shirts.
Hey guys, it's Celine Deanna, your senior class vice president. So with homecoming coming up this year, although we aren't having a dance or a parade, we're still making class t-shirts to show school spirit and bring our class together. So right now our design looks like this, and it's not finished yet, so we need you guys to help us come up with a senior class album cover. So if you're good at designing and you want to get involved in senior year HOCO, then send any ideas that you have to rectaa368@citrusschools.net. We hope that this gets you guys excited for senior year, and we can't wait to see what you come up with.
Thanks, Celine. We can't wait to see how the t-shirts turn out. And for those who missed it, the email will be right up here. Can't wait. Senior class t-shirts are always the best. Up next, we have Jordan Printer talking about homecoming king and queen court.
Hi, I'm Jordan Printer and I'm a senior. I'm also a parliamentarian for the executive board. LHS Student Government Association would like to announce the opening for nominations for 2020 Homecoming Court. Students, faculty, and staff can all nominate one male and one female for court. All nominees must meet the following criteria. All nominees must be a senior, minimum cumulative GPA of 2.0, no outstanding financial obligations to the school, such as books, unpaid fines, or athletic uniforms, cannot have been suspended during the current school year, and must know that if they are nominated for court, homecoming court, they cannot be on prom court. Nomination forms must be turned in Ms. Roush, located in room 261, or emailed to Ms. Roush at rousha@citrusschools.org no later than Friday, October 16th at 3 p.m. No late applications will be accepted. For further information, please see Ms. Roush or Ms. Duclos, or visit the website onelinecantor.com.
Thank you, Jordan. Last but certainly not least, we have Melanie Shanks.
Hi, I'm Melanie Shanks, the senior class treasurer.
And I'm Katie Henry, the lunatic secretary, and we're here to tell you about the homecoming game against Fernando.
It's on November 6th at 7 p.m.
Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Mel. And thank you, Katie. We hope to see all of you guys there at the homecoming game. That'll be all for today's show, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact Mrs. Roush or any senior class board members, or contact class sponsors Mrs. Duclos and Mr. Weil. Have a great day. Have a great day.
Hi guys, I'm super proud of our senior exec team for that fabulous video. This, what you're seeing now, is the flyer for this year's homecoming. The theme that was decided by the student government was fire and ice. Homecoming week will take place November 2nd through the 6th and will include hall decorating competition, daily dress-up themes, a football game, and a homecoming court with a queen and king crowned at the game. We encourage you to get those homecoming tickets as soon as possible when they go on sale because, as you know, we are at limited capacity and there's a very good chance that it will sell out very, very quickly. We need your support. Please make sure that you are following through with the dress-up days as best as you possibly can and that you show plenty of Lecanto Panther school spirit that week. We're all looking forward to it. Up next, homecoming court nominations. Nominations are due by Friday at 3 p.m. and no late applications will be accepted. If you're interested in nominating a senior for homecoming queen or homecoming king, please make sure that you take care of that ASAP. There will not be any late applications taken after Friday, October 16th at 3 p.m. Keep in mind that any individual student, staff, or faculty member can nominate a senior, but you must fill out the form. You will find this form in the brand new senior zone on Panther Zone. All right, up next, everyone's favorite, senior quotes. Keep in mind that senior quotes can only go into the yearbook if your picture's in the yearbook. So a few slides ago, I talked about how many of you do not have yet a senior picture. Remember to take care of that first because without a senior picture, you will not get your senior quote into the yearbook. Another thing to remember about senior quotes, they will all be reviewed by administration. Anything that is determined to be even a little bit inappropriate or unkind will be removed, and we will not give you a second opportunity to submit a different quote. So please choose wisely and maturely as you think about what you want your senior quote and your lasting impression on Lecanto High School to be. Quotes are due by October 23rd, so you only have about 9 days to get this done. Again, where would I find the form to fill out for my senior quote? You guessed it, on the senior zone in Panther Zone.
Good morning, seniors. Just wanted to check in with everybody, see how you're doing. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about graduation. You'll be getting information from Herff Jones on graduation packets and cap and gown, grad fee, etc. Within the coming days. You'll also be watching a video today about it. there's basically a couple things you need to know about graduation. Number one, you have to have cap and gown, and that's part of the grad fee, graduation cap and gown fee. To buy a new cap and gown from Herff Jones, which includes your walking fee, that is $75 at this time plus tax, so 75 plus 6% sales tax. The other option you have is if you have access to an old cap and gown, you can use that, but the fee is $60. That covers the fees that we have to pay for graduation, sound equipment, plants, printing costs, all those kind of things. That is actually part of the $75 that we get from Herff Jones. Diploma covers are included in that, diplomas, all that. So those are your two options. So you can either buy a brand new one and your grad fee is included in that, or you pay the grad fee to me sometime between now and April 1st. That's $60 and you can use an old one. If you're having financial difficulties, you can't get it purchased, you need to see me on an individual basis, and we'll see if we have some opportunities to help you take care of that. The deadline for purchasing cap and gowns from Herff Jones before we institute the late fee is December 31st. So once that information comes out, you need to go ahead and purchase it as quickly as possible. That way you don't have to worry about paying the late fee. When we start charging the late fees, those late fees end up being around $100 total. So save yourself some time, save yourself some aggravation, pay for it early. Okay? When you do order a cap and gown, what you're going to have to do is make sure that you put down your height and your weight, because they are sized. It's one size fits most, but if you're extra tall, they got to get a taller one. If you're a little bit on the heavier side, like me, they give you the ones that are a little bit bigger. So make sure you put down the proper height and weight. Okay? If you have a large head, again, like me, okay, we can get extra large caps. The caps are basically one size fits most. And then if you have a lot of hair or something like that, we can exchange those out at a later date. Okay, but make sure you take all that into consideration when you purchase. Okay, as far as announcements, all that is in the flyers that you'll be getting from Herff Jones. That's up to you what you purchase or what you don't purchase. Usually we have a big assembly, you all know about that, but unfortunately with COVID restrictions and things of that nature, we can't do that at this time. So we'll be showing you a video today along with just some basic information. If at any point you have any questions as to what's happening or what needs to happen, just stop by and see me at lunch. Send me an email. It's Allan, ALLANR, @citrusschools.org. If you send it to net, I probably won't see it. I very rarely go over that side, so just send it to .org, please, and I will answer it. Again, if you have any questions, just come see me, and I'll try to help you out any way I can. Hopefully, by the time we get to graduation, we'll be back to more towards the traditional, and we'll go from there. Okay, thanks.
Up next is all your graduation products. Most of your graduation products will be purchased through a company known as Herff Jones. They're the ones that we contract with to produce things like our graduation announcements, our cap and gowns, our diploma covers, and so on and so forth. You may have seen a lot of students walking around last year wearing black senior 2020 hoodies. Those came from Herff Jones. So Herff Jones is your go-to location for all things graduation products. They have developed a website. I have linked it here, and I have also linked it in the Panther zone, where you can look at the catalog. You can purchase your cap and gown if you want to purchase a class ring or a Letterman jacket, and so on. The video you're going to see on the next slide is also available on their website if you choose to watch it again, or if you want to share it with your families at home.
Hello, class of 2021, family members and friends. My name is John McClay from the Herff Jones Company, and let me start by saying congratulations to the class of 2021. In just a few moments, Janisha from the Tampa Bay office is going to give you some information concerning graduation announcements, caps and gowns, and how and when you place your order. This 3-minute video hopefully will help you in placing your orders. Please remember that it is important that you get your orders in on time.
Hey seniors, I'm Janisha and I'm here on behalf of our crew at Herff Jones of Tampa Bay. I wanted to share with you some very important information about one of the most memorable and exciting moments of your high school experience, ordering your graduation package and celebrating your graduation from high school. I'm sure many of you are ready for the next chapter, but trust me, the past 4 years deserve special celebration. You have or will receive a package of information from our team at Herff Jones of Tampa Bay. This packet is your tool to bring the celebration to life and to make sure you have everything you need to look your best at graduation and throughout your senior year. Inside your packet, you will see grad packs. This is the easiest way to ensure you have everything you need and want for senior year. Best part of the package, they will save you money. From our senior apparel to graduation announcements to the cap and gown, we want to make sure you're ready for an incredible year. Your school has designed the only official graduation announcement complete with information about your ceremony and your official school seal. These announcements are a great way to let your friends, family, and community know that you finally made it. You're graduating. Keep in mind that these announcements aren't necessarily invitations and to order plenty, because I'm just going to tell you a little secret. When you send someone an announcement, they usually send a gift card, cash, or another really nice gift back congratulating you on such a huge accomplishment. I know I got a lot. Our most popular package is called the Mascot Package and is the only package that includes your official graduation announcements and your cap and gown, plus several items from our custom class of 2021 brand line of senior apparel. We also have 3 different grad packs that include your cap and gown and some more of that custom 2021 senior apparel. Grad packs do not include your school's official announcements, but we have the Economy Package, which is a special announcement package that can be paired with any of the grad packs. The custom 2021 senior apparel includes hoodies, t-shirts, jewelry, tumblers, and so much more gear to help you showcase your own unique senior swag. All of the senior gear is given to you on order day or shipped directly to your home. Still haven't ordered your ring or letter jacket? It's not too late. An official class ring and letter jacket can be easily added to any of the packages. Now what? Well, we have several easy ways for you to order. Stay tuned for more information about your school's order event. Our team of experts will be on hand to help you select the perfect announcement and cap and gown package for you, and size you for your letter jacket and class ring.
Thank you, Janisha, for that information. What we've tried to do this year in particular, due to the challenges that we're facing, is create a system that is simple and user-friendly for you both on a computer and on your phone. So you're going to see a page that will be coming out to you with quick links for viewing catalogs, for placing orders for graduation products, letter jackets, class rings, and you can even view this meeting again if you like it so much that you want to see it a second time.
All right, everyone, before we switch gears, I was given this video from Withlacoochee Technical College, and I think it's a great video to share with you at this point in your life in case you're considering Withlacoochee Technical College, or maybe you know very little to nothing about it. But it could be a really great opportunity for you right here in our own backyard. So if you're looking to get into one of the trades that they offer, it's definitely worth a look and a phone call to them. So enjoy this short video about what they have to offer.
Withlacoochee Technical College, training today for tomorrow's workforce. WTC is fully accredited by the Council on Occupational Education, providing the highest quality academic and technical education for current and emerging careers and a competitive workforce. Withlacoochee Technical College prides itself on time completion, job placement, licensure rates, hands-on workplace-based training, and state-of-the-art facilities with high-tech equipment. With a variety of programs to choose from, you can find the perfect career choice for you. Students complete industry certifications that demonstrate technical skill. Industry certifications verify that students possess the entry-level skills to perform job functions. Earning an industry certification provides students with a competitive edge upon entering the workforce. Students at Withlacoochee Technical College learn and practice employability skills, which include teamwork, communication, problem solving in the workforce, and interview skills. Upon completion of the programs, you will be connected with internships and job opportunities. Take charge of your life and get your career in a year at Withlacoochee Technical College.
Okay guys, I know it has been a lot so far, so I think it's a good time to take a break. So at this point, if you want to pause the slideshow, take a 10 or 15 minute break, stretch your legs, have a little relax time, I think this is a great time for that. The rest of the slideshow is dedicated to a special presentation about what seniors should really focus on for the beginning of their senior year. This is going to talk to you about college applications, scholarship applications, how to get a teacher recommendation. It's about a 16-minute video, so like I said, you probably want to take a break at this point before you start that 16-minute video. But I think there's a lot of great information in there. If you're not intending to go to college, I still think it can be valuable for you for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of what they say can also apply to getting your first job or just how to keep your to-do list manageable. Or maybe you change your mind in a couple of months and decide you do want to go to college, in which case this information could be very, very valuable for you. So take a break, reset your brain, and get ready to get a lot of information about how to handle the fall of your senior year to maximize your chances of getting into the university, college, trade school, or what have you that you are looking forward to going to.
It's almost fall, and while many people love fall with its colorful leaves and pumpkin spice lattes, fall is actually a pretty stressful time for high school seniors because the college applications process is, of course, about to begin. For the first time, you don't know what you'll be doing next year, and that uncertainty can be really intimidating. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all of your college application to-dos, that's totally normal, and we're here to tell you that everything will be okay as long as you take things step by step. To help make things a little bit easier, we've put together an 8-item checklist so that you feel on top of the college applications process. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Number 1, narrow down your school list. The first thing to do is to finalize your school list and make sure it's well balanced. This is really, really important because it's the most foundational step to your entire applications process. But unfortunately, it's often where students go wrong. So let's chat and make sure you don't make those mistakes. You want to make sure that your list is balanced among reach, target, and safety schools. A reach school is a school where your odds of getting in aren't very good. A target school is where you have a good, decent chance of acceptance, and a safety school is where you have a very high chance of acceptance. All of these classifications are based on the selectivity of the school, your personal profile, and the average profile of accepted students to the school. If you want more info on these different types of schools, reach, target, and safety, you can check out our How to Make Your Perfect School List video, which is linked below. A common mistake is that students create top-heavy lists that are mostly, or even worse, all, reach schools. This decreases your overall chance of acceptance to college at all, because you're statistically unlikely to get into most or even all of your schools. For a more balanced school list, we recommend including between 2 and 4 reach schools, 3 to 4 target schools, and 2 to 4 safety schools, for a total of 8 to 12 schools. You can apply to more colleges if you want, but remember that each one costs between $50 and $100 to submit the application, unless you have a fee waiver, and that it'll also cost you time and emotional energy to submit more and more applications. If you're having trouble paring down your school list, you should first figure out which schools check off the most boxes in terms of your fit factors. These fit factors could be anything such as location, size, majors, specific clubs, financial aid generosity, many things. You just need to decide which factors are negotiable and which ones aren't, and you should just remove the ones that don't meet the cut. By this point, you should have a shorter school list. If it's still too long, you should take a look at the supplemental essays required by each school. If you've grown at seeing all the prompts because you think it's going to take a long time, it's going to be too much work, you should really reconsider whether you really want to attend the school or not. Writing college essays isn't most people's idea of fun, but if you truly feel that the school is a good fit, you're more willing to put in the work. Number 2, decide if you're applying early action or early decision. Now that you have your school list, you'll want to decide if you're going to apply early action, EA, or early decision, ED. On these timelines, you'll have to submit your application earlier, but you'll also get a decision earlier. Most early deadlines are November 1st instead of the January 1st regular decision, RD, deadline. And you'll get a decision by mid-December for early instead of March or April for regular. While early action isn't binding, early decision is binding. If you get in an ED, you'll have to attend the school. You have no choice, unless financial aid is insufficient. You can also only pick one school to apply to ED, which makes the weight of that choice even more significant. There is one other application timeline called Single Choice Early Action, SCEA, which is characteristic of schools like Princeton, Harvard, and Yale. For SCEA, your application isn't binding, but you can only apply early to one private school, hence the name Single Choice Early Action. You might be wondering why anyone would intentionally give themselves an earlier deadline for this hectic process, even if they hear back earlier. Well, applying early is actually super appealing to most students because early acceptance rates are actually significantly higher than regular decision acceptance rates. For example, Harvard's early action acceptance rate was 13.4% for the class of 2023, but their regular decision rate was 2.3%, for an overall acceptance rate of 4.5%. 2.3 versus 13.4 is a pretty huge difference when you're trying to get into Harvard.
Grammarly
Acceptance rates were due to a stronger pool of applicants amongst the students applying early. However, we at College Find have found that if you control for profile strength, there is still a benefit to applying early. Early decision applicants get the highest boost, between 10 and 12%. For single choice early action, the benefit is about 6 to 8%, and for normal early action, the boost hovers around 4 to 6%. So, in sum, applying early can be a really smart strategic step as long as you take the time to prepare the best application you can. Number 3, register for any last-minute testing. Now that you have your school list and your admissions timeline set, you should be sure to double-check your school's testing requirements. Most schools require the SAT or the ACT, but some more selective ones will also require, or at least recommend, SAT subject tests, which are hour-long exams covering a specific subject such as math or US history. If your school requires subject tests but you haven't taken any yet, you don't need to panic. You can take multiple subject tests on the same day, the same Saturday, which allows you to fulfill any requirements in just one test sitting on one day. Some schools will tell you which subject test to take, but others will leave it totally up to you. Generally, you should take the test that is most relevant to the subject you want to study for your college major. So if you want to be a STEM major, for instance, you want to take the Math 2 test. Beyond that, you should take whichever test you think you'll do the best on. We usually discourage students, however, from taking the language exams because actually many native speakers of those languages take the tests and they make the curve a lot harder for the rest of us. For more about SAT subject tests and which ones you should take, check out our blog series on the topic where we break it down for specific majors. Regardless of which test you have to take, even if it's taking the SAT or ACT for the first time or retaking it, make sure you schedule a date that allows you to get your score in time for your application deadlines. So for early action or early decision deadlines, you'll want to take your test by October at the latest. For regular decision, you should be aiming to take all of your tests by December at the latest. Number 4, ask your teachers and counselor for recommendation letters. If you haven't asked your teacher or counselor for a letter of recommendation yet, you should be sure to do so at least 1 month before your first college application deadline. You should try to ask teachers in 2 different disciplines, such as one STEM teacher and one humanities teacher. If you can, you should ask teachers who you've had recently and those who know you outside of the classroom as well. For example, an ideal option would be a math teacher from your junior year who was also your cross-country coach, so they know you both in and out of the classroom. It isn't always possible to check all of those boxes, so just keep in mind that the main goal is to ask teachers who know you well and can speak positively of you and your academic abilities and your personal qualities. You generally want to ask teachers whose classes you aced, but you might consider asking a teacher whose class was challenging because they can also make a strong recommendation. You just want to make sure that you persevered and ultimately overcame the challenges you had in that class. Keep in mind that some teachers may ask you to provide them with a brag sheet, or basically a resume of your extracurriculars and any honors you've won. Your school counselor will also likely ask for one to write your recommendation, so it's good to have that ready in your back pocket. Number 5, tackle the Common App. There are 2 major beasts when it comes to the Common App. The essay, of course, but also the activities list. Most students know that they need to spend a good portion of their time writing an engaging and unique college essay, but many high schoolers don't realize how important the extracurricular section of the Common Application is. For selective schools, your extracurriculars are really just as important as your essays. So as you're filling out your activities list, you want to be sure to follow these steps. Number 1, ask yourself if you've listed all of your significant extracurriculars and if all of the extracurriculars you listed are significant. The most competitive applicants list between 8 to 10 activities, but it's better to have fewer ECs that truly matter to your high school development rather than many ECs that distract from your overarching high school career. For example, if you played basketball for all 4 years and you were a varsity captain of the team, and you write an essay about how basketball taught you the importance of determination, you should definitely list basketball on your activities list. But if you only did a robotics club for 1 semester and you don't show any other interest in STEM on your application, you might consider leaving that one off. Number 2, check that your activities are listed from most to least significant. On the flip side, list any titles within each activity from least to most significant, rather than in chronological order. For example, let's say that you were class president in your sophomore year, but then you were just a class representative for the other 3 years. The cleanest way to list these roles in the activity section is class representative times 3, class president times 1. This also makes it look like you worked up to being president in your final year, and that kind of arc of building towards something is a bit more impressive. Number 3, quantify your accomplishments whenever possible. So instead of saying something like, hosted a community fundraiser for a local food shelter, you could write, recruited 90 students to collect 2,500 cans of food for a local food shelter. Number 4, highlight ways that you went above the typical responsibilities of your role. If you list tutored a blind student in math, admissions officers will know that you explained concepts and helped the student with their homework. However, they might not realize that you organized a communication system for all of the students' tutors, and that's a detail worth mentioning as it shows that you are a leader, you have a penchant for efficiency, and you took a lot of initiative in this scenario. Common App essay advice is a little less straightforward to give, as each essay is pretty different in format and in content. However, here are a few of our general recommendations for the Common App essay. Number 1, you should show, don't tell. You've probably heard this in English class already, but it's vital to write an engaging essay, and it's one of the points that students struggle with most. Here's an example. Instead of saying, I struggled to make friends when I transferred schools, you can show your emotions better by writing, I scanned the bustling school cafeteria, feeling more and more forlorn with each unfamiliar face. I found an empty table and ate my lunch alone. That essay is not a report or analytical paper, it's full of emotion, and that's exactly what you want. You want to tell a story that's personal and emotional. Number 2, avoid cliches and adages. Cliches and adages like be the change you want to see in the world really rob you of an opportunity to express yourself with your own original language and thought. Furthermore, quoting famous people is something that really any applicant could do, and many will do, and the point of the essay is to share your unique, distinctive voice. Admissions officers are interested in evaluating your application to their college, not Gandhi's application. For more Common App essay advice and examples, be sure to read our detailed guide on our blog and watch our YouTube video on that subject. Both of those are linked below. Number 6, write supplemental essays. Most colleges will require school-specific essays beyond the Common App. These can range from standard topics such as why this school or why this major, to quirkier prompts like you've just invented a time machine in your living room, so where will you go? These supplemental essays are important because they allow schools to understand how you might fit with their community, which of course is a major goal of admissions officers, and they also give more insight into your specific, unique personality. For the more standard prompts such as why this school or why this major, a major tip is to cite specific opportunities that are unique to the school that you want to take advantage of. For instance, in the why school essay, It's especially important to avoid listing general aspects that could apply to many schools, such as the city it's in, location, strong programs it has, or a low student to faculty ratio. Here's an example of an essay response you would want to avoid. USC is a great school located in the beautiful city of Los Angeles with unparalleled academics and renowned instructors. And now, here's an example of more of the essay type you should aim for. At USC, I would join the Cosmic Writers Club to find a community of students who, like me, are passionate about the intersection of physics and creative writing. In the first example, the kind of bad example, that sentence could apply just as easily to UCLA. Without the bit about Los Angeles, the rest of the essay could really apply to any decent school in existence, strong programs, and a low student to faculty ratio. The second example is much better because it provides a resource that's unique to USC that the student plans to take advantage of. When it comes to the Y School essay, you want to be sure not only to mention something academic, but also something extracurricular. You should remember that college is not only about classes, it's also about how you fit into the overall school community, which is often done via extracurricular activities. We've covered some of the more typical prompts, but what if you get one of those unconventional or quirky ones? Well, if you come across one of those prompts, you should feel free to show your quirky side in response. There's no need to be overly serious and pick something super intellectual that you think the admissions committee wants to hear. In fact, that's what you should avoid doing. The key to all supplemental prompts, whether serious or lighthearted, is to reveal more about who you are beyond what you wrote in your main essay and your personality. If you keep this in mind and follow the steps to tell an engaging story via these essays, they should be genuine, interesting, and distinctive and help your application. Number 7, start the financial aid process. The FAFSA opens on October 1st each year, and you'll need to fill it out to be eligible for need-based financial aid at almost all colleges. The CSS profile also opens on October 1st, and you'll likely need to fill out that one too, especially if you're applying to more selective private schools. The CCS profile has more contextual data than the FAFSA, and it's often more generous with special circumstances such as health issues or job loss in your family. Some CSS schools, which are about the top 25 schools, also offer more generous aid through the consensus formula. Some schools even use a third form, which is called the IDOC. While the CSS profile and the FAFSA take your information and then send a report to the college, the IDOC actually directly submits documentation to schools through its secure portal. Schools that use this form will say so on their financial aid website. It should be pretty clear. And you won't have to do anything until the school invites you to participate. You actually can't start the form on your own, which is different from the FAFSA and CSS profile. Financial aid deadlines vary by college and by the application timeline you're using for each application, so you should be sure to check each individual school's requirements. All of these forms are going to require a lot of documentation, such as your parents' social security numbers, their tax returns, investments, bank statements, other assets that your family owns. You may want to fill out these forms while your parents are sitting close by, so you can ask them for any documentation that comes up. Number 8, make a plan for keeping up with your college applications, schoolwork, and extracurriculars. Okay, we've made it to the last point on this checklist. As you can see, there are a lot of steps to the college applications process and many deadlines to keep track of on top of your schoolwork and extracurriculars because you're still a high school student. We strongly recommend finding a good way to stay on top of your to-dos, whether it's a physical planner, an online calendar app, or a full applications platform like ours at College Vine. Listing out the different milestones will make each step feel much more tangible and the whole process will seem more achievable. Staying organized will also allow you to juggle college applications, school, extracurriculars, while still enjoying your final year of high school. It's really important to keep strongly in mind that you need to have fun this year, despite the busy process, because really soon you're going to be moving on to a new journey surrounded by different people, and you want to take every opportunity to enjoy your senior year.
All right, guys, this wraps up our senior meeting for today. I hope you got a lot of great information and that I've answered some of your questions. If you ever need me, I'm right in the front of the school, room 203. My extension is 6282, and my email is duclosm@citrusschools.org. I'll put that right here on this slide. So make sure when you are able to get on the internet that you remember to do a few things. One, of course, join that Senior Remind at 21 Lecanto. Check out the Senior Zone on Panther Zone to complete your homecoming nomination forms, your senior quote form, taking care of your senior pictures, and ordering everything you need from Herff Jones. You also should consider completing a recommendation request form if or when you need those recommendation letters. I have given each of the teachers some copies of this, some handwritten copies, if you would like to get started on this. It's a great thing to have if you want to go to a university, a college, a technical school, or if you're just looking to get your first job. It's also great to have those recommendation letters with you on hand when you go to an interview or when you go to request a application for a new job. So I think that is something that is valuable for everyone. If you need me, I hope you know where to find me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and go Panthers.